At age 12, she believed in a fictional boogeyman, a tall, faceless monster in a black suit created by other young people on the internet. His name was Slender Man. And the power he held over young Morgan Geyser was so magnetic that she was willing to kill for him. And she very nearly did. Morgan is not 12 years old anymore. She's almost 23. And she's been locked up in a mental health facility ever since the horrifying day that she stabbed a little friend of hers 19 times. In 2014, Morgan and another little friend named Anissa Weir lured their 12-year-old friend Peyton Lautner into the woods, and they jumped Peyton. Here's some of what Morgan told the police back then.
What were you trying to do with her when you stabbed her?
Kill her. I might as well just say it. We were trying to kill her. I don't know why it was necessary that it was her, but it seemed very necessary.
Why did you try to get down there?
We said that we were going to go bird watching. People who trust you become very gullible, and it was sort of sad.
Miraculously, despite being stabbed 19 times, Peyton survived. That little 12-year-old girl crawled to a bike path and was rescued by a passerby. Anissa and Morgan were both arrested and tried, and both found not guilty by reason of mental disease. They were 12. Anissa was ordered to be confined to a psychiatric facility for 25 years, but she walked out after just 4. Morgan, who did the stabbing, got 40 years. And now Morgan has served 7 years, but she too is on the brink of release. Not full-on freedom, but transfer to a halfway house with round-the-clock supervision. And while that may not sit well with a lot of you watching right now, hold on to your seat for a minute. Because Morgan hasn't been squeaky clean, shall we say, while in lockup. Since the beginning of this year, complaints have surfaced that Morgan had a relationship with a murder-memorabilia collector while she was being held in this facility. Her advocates say the relationship was one way and that Morgan ended it. But that person visited. There were also claims that Morgan reads violent crime novels behind bars, including one about organ trafficking, a book called Rent Boy. The defense says that Morgan never tried to hide these books. Today, all sides were back in court so that the judge could sign off on the halfway house transfer, but suddenly, the state raised what they called a very large problem, end quote. The group home that officials had selected is just 8 miles from the victim's house. The victim's mother told the court she's, quote, very concerned. It's an understatement. Apparently the judge was too. So they're all supposed to come back and consider this new placement in a month. But my question is, why is she being considered for release at all, given these predilections that she's got? I'm joined now by my friend Mark Geragos, criminal defense attorney and co-host of the hit podcasts Reasonable Doubt and Two Angry Men. Help me get my head around this, Mark. She's supposed to go away for 40 years. We're into it for 10. She's got a friend who's a murder memorabilia collector visiting her at this facility, and she's reading books about organ transfer. How does she get good time or any time at all?
It's mainly a product of the mental health system. The problem with the criminal justice system is when you try to apply it or put it overlay it on a mental health issue, and that's what you have here. And a lot of times the system is ill-equipped to deal with mental health. I can't tell you how many cases where they get pinged back and forth between the criminal justice system and the mental health facility and back and forth. And there's never a real satisfying answer. I think it's probably more fundamental to the problems that we have writ large in society with mental health. Mental health should not be something that's dealt with in the criminal justice system. Clearly here, she was put into the mental health system and then brought back to the criminal justice system to deal with it. And they're just ill-equipped and they don't have the background for it.
Well, look, I'm not, and I never have been a fan of saying, take a 12-year-old who does something horrendous and then lock them away and throw away the key. However, I am also very mindful that this little girl survived, that her mother and her family has lived hell ever since, and knowing that the perpetrators of this hideous crime that they thought was just that she just had to die, could be out and walking among them again with these existing mental health conditions. It's very, very upsetting. Does the family have a say here? Does the family of the victim have any say in any of this?
Absolutely. I mean, the family victims have rights. They've got constitutional rights in most jurisdictions. They do have a say, and that's one of the reasons that there was a stop to this, because of the rule, basically, that they can give voice or give what's normally called an impact. So clearly they can. But on the other hand, you do have this situation where 12-year-olds are not fully formed, and that's not to excuse anything, but it does explain a lot of what's happening here. And it's a horrible case from every different angle. There's nothing satisfying about this case in any way, shape, or form.
I'll tell you what, it would be hard enough if this child and now adult had done everything right and, checked every box and looked perfectly healthy and ready for release after just 10 years of a 40-year sentence. It would be hard enough for that family of the Lautner family, Peyton Lautner's family, the child who was stabbed. But you have this additional insult, which is that this kid, 23 years old, is visiting with a murder memorabilia aficionado and reading twisted books. That, to me, doesn't sound like somebody who qualifies. How can she?
Well, the murder memorabilia person, at least there's a suggestion that was unilateral, that was not something that she had engaged in. I don't know. I'm not close enough to the facts.
He visited.
I haven't talked to the lawyer. Visited. But I don't know if that was more somebody who had kind of insinuated themselves into this for their own purposes, or whether it was somebody who was invited in. Who knows? I mean, that's up to the judge to get to the bottom of that. I imagine the reason the judge press pause. I think one of your producers had told me he was retiring in a couple of days. If I got the facts straight, maybe he just wanted to kick the can down the road and let somebody else make the decision.
Retires on Wednesday. You got that right. Mark Geragos, I always love having you on. This was a really upsetting one. I appreciate you giving some context to it. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.